Viking. I got here Josh with me from Gray Fox Games, and what we have here is the old Reavers of Midgard. We just got done playing a game of this. We are in Dallas right now. Depending upon when you watch this, you probably might watch this while BGGCON is still going on. So this is one of the big empty rooms right now. Tomorrow all the big craziness starts and like everybody shows up. But the Tuesday night, it's kind of laid back. We get to set up our booth. So how big is booth setup go for you today?
Nice and smooth. Easy in there. Got it all set up. Looking good. Ready for people to come in on Thursday.
Yeah, all of our stuff is still up in our room. We were lazy.
So we're gonna do it tomorrow.
Yeah, the TMG booth. Yeah, we didn't get it done at all. But anyway, I wanted to try this one out because I'm a big fan of Champions of Midgard. Obviously, the Viking stuff. I dig the Viking theme. So I got to play this, and well, I can see there's comparisons. Or this is its own weird entity, I guess, in its own right. So we'll get rid of that, and then. So, Josh, first of all, I gotta know, was this a different game before, and like you guys kind of like cultivated it into the Midgard theme, or was it?
Yeah, I mean, it came to us as a different game. It came to us as a post-apocalyptic game that had some mechanical overlap with Champions, and we wanted to refashion it to fit in this world, so we gave it back to the designer, told him what our vision for it was, and when he brought it back after that revision, it fit so nicely in the world of Champions of Midgard that we were like, all right, this is the game we want.
So if you've played Champions of Midgard, what do you think is the most striking, besides the art, obviously, and the style, I mean, what is the... where's the connection you think where people are going to draw, like, fans of the first game?
Sure. I mean, we very much wanted this to be its own game. So the game has a lot of similarities, but also a lot of differences. Fans of Champions of Midgard will recognize the dice-based combat right out of the gate. And they will see perhaps...
I can't reach the dice. But anyway, that's fine.
We can bring some dice in there.
All right, yeah.
So we've got custom dice, and that is certainly a big crossover, right? We've got dice-based combat, and that executes in a lot of different ways. The sea battles are basically straight out of Champions of Midgard. The combat that you used to do with monsters in that game is ported into here with some slight variations, but it's a very similar combat system. But we've also expanded that so that lots of the other locations that you can undertake actions in this world, you have the option for combat. And so that is something that fans of the original will certainly recognize. The way that this differs is that for most of the places you can do combat, you don't have to do combat. You have the option to go this kind of slow and steady, I want to prepare and go in with the short thing.
Well, like there's this conquest area right here where you go and you have the option of either trying to just defeat these cities, these outposts of these strongholds, these settlements, or like they want food. So if you have extra food, you can hand it to them, and then they're like, "Oh, well, we like you. Yes, we'll join you." That sort of thing.
Your goal is conquer these territories, but you can subdue them peacefully by bringing them what they need, and they will happily join up with your Norse Empire. Or if you don't have the goods that they want, you can come in guns a-blazing and take that village down anyway.
Put them to the axe, as it is. So yeah, all right. So we played this game. You won. I was just happy that I actually I beat Shane, the CEO of the company. So he's not even he's going to show up here and say, there he is. Yeah. So he's the guy who runs Gray Fox, but apparently he runs the company because he doesn't know how to play games very well.
True story.
True story. All right. So
my affinity for games has nothing to do with natural skill, by the way. I've just played it hundreds of times. By the time it hits the public,
there's something to that. So. This is what I felt like. It's called the Reavers of Midgard, and that's like because these cards here are the Reavers, and they have like multiple uses as far as the powers they have. You can make them leaders. You can make them in charge of like there's these spots. And it might be tough to see, but there's the different locations where you can compound their powers when other people take action. Something that I always like if somebody's going to take an action, you can use the fact that they're doing that to like help yourself out, and it's something for other players to think about as well. It's like, oh, I really want to go like raiding at sea, but if I do that, I'm going to be giving all this stuff to other people, and so you have to like factor that into your decision making.
Yeah, I love that gives me an element of player interaction in worrying about what I'm going to do, how it's going to affect other players, or worrying about how I can capitalize on other players' actions. But I also love that this gives an element of engine building to this game, that I can build up those Reavers and by the end of this game, I feel much more powerful than when we started it.
Yeah, and so there is a progression. There's like an immersion quality as far as like improving your tribe and moving forward. All right, so explain, go through like the mechanism, the main mechanism of the game. This is technically like a single worker placement, or just basically taking an action, but then people get to follow that action. Why don't you just kind of just pick a spot and maybe explain that?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, the core mechanism is this single worker placement action. It functions the way an action selection game might. So when I take my worker and I put them on a location, everybody is going to get to take the action that I take, assuming they can afford it. But we're going to get to take them with declining success, right? So if I've initiated this raid keeps action, I'm going to pay this cost, and I'm going to choose which of these keeps to raid. So if this one has the stuff that is best for me, I'm going to get to raid that keep and get a couple bonus cards off the top. The next person is going to have fewer choices and get fewer bonus cards, so on around the table. So by the time we get to the last person, not only are they likely to only have one choice remaining, but they're going to get no bonus goodies. And so you really want to pay attention to what other people are likely to do so that you can position yourself to make the most out of every player's action.
And the other big thing is turn order. I learned fairly early in the beginning of the game, nothing stinks more than like going last, especially when like there's all these different options, and when somebody like, I'm going to take the first player marker, which is this location. Not only do you get to take this action, but it's also a first player action. And so they get to take that spot. And this, when you go last, you still get to pick something and get the bonus for going first, but your choices obviously are much less, because there's no way to knock somebody off a spot and take over that location. So all the like the primo good stuff is already taken.
And you want to be in control. You want to pick the thing that's going to benefit you the most. Getting the worst pick on the space that you wanted is not the situation you want to be in.
No, not at all. And definitely, like, that's something you can think of as well, is like if you see somebody like really doubling down on like certain things, like doubling down on those keeps that they're taking, or doubling down on these sea raids and like that, if you can get there first and like, you know, take away like the bonus for somebody being able to use that, it's a huge a huge way to like, you know, inhibit the other people. And then like you said, there's lots of games that have accidental conflict between players, but I found myself that there was actually like purposeful choices you could make that could really mess with people. And that's something that I without actually being a detrimental effect to yourself as well, because it actually helps you. It's something that's going to be good, and it's also going to like take somebody down a peg or two.
Yeah, the player interaction in this game isn't subtle, right? It's not in your face. You're not directly attacking other players, but because your actions are tied so intimately to the actions of other players, taking the spot you know somebody else wants can really upset the thing that they're going for, and you want to do that. It's about building an engine that works for you and disrupting the engines the other players are building.
Yeah, exactly. So this is on Kickstarter, like right now.
Right now.
And it's got like a week left, right?
Got it a week today.
And it's like smashed through like everything. Do you even have stretch goals left on this one?
Yeah, we've still got some stretch goals. We've got a couple content-related stretch goals. We've got a couple component-related stretch goals. I think we've added actually new stuff to the Kickstarter today, so people should go and check it out and see what's left to be unlocked.
Thanks, Shane! You're the best! Woo!
You're welcome.
So if people wanted to find out more, obviously they can go to the Kickstarter and they can go to the Reavers of Midgard. Where else might they go if they wanted to track down their information?
That's
probably the best place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, they want to go to Kickstarter. They want to search for Reavers of Midgard. They can find information on our website. They can find information on Board Game Geek, but they're going to get the latest, most up-to-date, coolest-looking stuff looking at it on Kickstarter right now.
When I got to ask what I thought about this game, and kind of summing up, this was a game that, I'm a big fan of games that make me feel clever or make me feel smart during my turns. And whenever, I'm able to, do something that it gives me an immediate reward, but also a longer lasting reward down the line because of different abilities and different powers. It makes me feel like I'm building, like you said, building that engine, and building upon what I've already done before. And you might start thinking about going down a certain path, but because somebody else takes that spot from you, you have to divert your action and go there. And it's that ability to kind of play on the fly and be efficient with what you're choosing and making the best of what you have left. I think that makes this one shine for me. Plus the theme, obviously, Vikings. It was a no-brainer for me as far as theme goes.
I'm stoked it resonated with you. And maybe you're just that smart. Maybe it's not the game.
No, you play enough games. You know. How many games do you think you played in your lifetime now?
Well over 1,000.
Yeah, so once you play games, you kind of you see you see the interlocks, you see the way the things like click together, and it's one of those things where there is new stuff out there, and this has definitely felt new. I mean, I like the one. Where's my guy? There he is. I like the one guy and putting it on the board, and like you just it's technically kind of worker placement and not really, but I like the one guy. But I like the following actions. I've always enjoyed games that have that, where it's just like, oh, yeah, you pick something, but at least I get to do something. It isn't like, oh, do your turn, I'm going to sit here and wait for you. Oh, it's my turn? Okay, fine, I can go. No.
Well, I mean, that's the goal, right? When you've played enough games and you've made enough games, you want to set out to make a game that when people play it, they have that jubilation, right? It's not just about victory, it's about the process, and I want as much of the game to feel good as can.
I think I can't remember I'm trying to remember the name of the designer now, but he talked about, I listened to a podcast and he talked about units of fun. Like a game is a composite of the units of fun that it gives you. And so when I was playing this, like I said, other people taking their turns gave me a unit of fun. It gave me something. It gave me a reward. It gave me like that, for example, just for metaphor reasons, it gave me a cracker to eat. Basically, oh, I got to do something. That was cool.
Yeah.
And so like you combine all those units of fun. You get to the end. Yeah, okay, fine. I might have beat Shane. Ha! But it was definitely like after everything was done, I was like, that was a good time. And that's ultimately the point of any game you play.
Agreed.
All right, cool. So go ahead and check out Reavers of Midgard. If you have this at your booth here at BGGCON, if you want to come and check it out, right?
Yeah, we will have it set up. We'll be running demos for the whole show. So if you see this and you're at BGGCON, come on by and give it a play.
And are you going? I mean, what if they miss the Kickstarter? Is there going to be any chance that they're going to still be able to?
Yeah, I mean, the game will eventually be available in retail. We will have a pledge manager after the Kickstarter for people who pledge and want to get in on that.
If money's tight, just do that $1 pledge, right?
Yeah.
You can get in, you can slide in underneath the door, and then add it on later.
I mean, and that's always our goal, right? We want to make our games available to as many people as possible, as often as possible. If people play a game and they like it and they miss the Kickstarter, we want to provide ways for them to get it, because when we've made something cool and fun, we want as many people to enjoy it as possible.
Perfect. All right. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to watch this. Hope to see you at BGGCon. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Lance.